SirStrange fam, what is cracking? Here, what's going on? It is yours truly, Stephen Strange, aka SirStreezy, in the building and at your service. What's going on, y'all? It's good to see y'all again. Check this out. As y'all no doubt aware, I drive with Uber, right? I had a customer hit me with one of the craziest of questions. Now, sometimes when I'm driving with Uber, I like to, guilty pleasure, be my own biggest fan, and be having my videos play, just for audio purposes and, perhaps gain new subscribers, which I did. And, dude was like, okay, that's cool. So you're a game tuber and you do these cool top 10s. I'm like, yeah, just having a little fun with my growing community. And he was like, okay, so I got the question for you. And when I tell you this question is a doozy, bro, this question hits so hard. It's a devastated blow to the chest to even try and think about it. Man's asked me, what is your top 10 video games of all time? We're not even categorying it, like not just PlayStation, not just Nintendo, not just Xbox, not just mobile, not just VR, just all of it. Dude, I was stumped. I was like, buddy, there's no way. There is no way in hell I can answer you right now with that question. But I will do this for you. I will answer your question in a video. And this is that video. Now, before I get into this list, I'm not even going to worry about putting the disclaimer here, because I would dare any of y'all that are as heavy into gaming as me to attempt what I just attempted to do. And scaringly have done it. And it hurt. It really hurt to put this list together, because there's way too many games, bro. Way too many. So if this list upsets you, I don't care. I want you to tell me yours, because this is, out of all the top 10s I've done, this is the hardest list I put together. It's so hard. So expect a lot of honorable mentions, because there's going to be a bunch of them, just for the sake of me not wanting to leave nothing out. But we all know with the many years, like I was born in '87, so just imagine how much gaming I've done from then till now. Just come on, bro. Just imagine. So if you mad at my list, so what? What's yours? Tell me yours. So we're gonna get this list going, but before we do, a message from our sponsor.
Hiya Mouse, Hacky Mouse here, and this video is sponsored by W Energy. It's high time we leveled up your thirst quencher. W Energy is packed with all kinds of natural nutrients. No GMOs allowed, that's amazing. Prepare to tee up and max out your gaming winnings with flavors such as Beachy Peach, Calio Cream, Galaxy Grenade, and more.
If you done taking L's and need some W vibes, use my promo code StrangeJuice to get you some W energy today. And thanks for sponsoring this video, W. Really appreciate you. Okay, now that that's out the way, let's get on to this list right now. Number 10. Okay, coming in at number 10. I'm gonna give this spot, respectfully, to Fortnite. I'm putting Fortnite at number 10 as greatest video game of all time. Fortnite is a freaking anomaly. Like, Fortnite was not meant to work as well as it did. I'm just saying, like, this was really something crazy new. First of all, when it came out, it did come out with its own game. There was a single game of Fortnite. But then they had their free-to-play game, which was a battle royale. As you know, most of us dabbled in the free-to-play battle royale game. Things got different when they started, adding like little fun skins here and there of, of what they made. And then it just evolved into something deeper. They started incorporating famous icons like people on YouTube that are memes. Then other famous YouTubers like Ninja and so on, to incorporating basketball players. Then they started crossing over with different cartoons like Rick and Morty, Family Guy, diving into the anime scene with Dragon Ball, Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia. Even got into Marvel. You got Marvel superheroes in this thing. You got DC superheroes in this game. Like it just became a beast to the point where now you can put freaking J's on your character. we got sneakers. What are we doing? Dude, if I'm not mistaken, they bought out the company that was responsible for Guitar Hero and Rock Band and made a rhythm game called Fortnite Festival. They partnered up with Rocket League, made their own racing game. They partnered up with Lego, and now they have a whole new game, Lego Fortnite, which is literally Minecraft, but it's Fortnite characters. All the skins that you have purchased over time are in Lego form, and you're exploring this large landmass like you would Fortnite, building. I mean, like you would do Minecraft, building forts, gathering resources. Like, it became a whole beast, all the way to the point where they allowed creators to come in and make games within Fortnite. It literally became Roblox. Fortnite is big, man. It's monumental, and the journey that it has went through, I applaud it. It made a fan out of me, respectfully, and I thoroughly enjoy it every time I play it. It's a beast, and that's why it's at number 10 of best video game of all time. Respect it. Next, number 9. Alright, coming in at number 9. Man, I'm putting Tekken Tag Tournament in number 9. This particular series of Tekken was my absolute favorite. It incorporated characters from Tekken 2, which was my introduction to the series, and Tekken 3, which is, besides this one, my other favorite, because that was our introduction to Jin Kazama, my favorite character of all time in Tekken. What can I say that any other person that enjoyed this game can't say? Countless hours of battles against friends, against siblings. This was the best roster we've had in Tekken history until the newer things came out. You know me, they was bopping with the music, and I was loving it, man. I remember when it first came out in the arcades, like I couldn't wait. I could not wait. I was trash. So I had to wait until we get the console release so I could enjoy it at home and get nice at home and then dominate my neighborhood, which ended up happening later. But, yeah. No, to me, it's just one of those. Tekken Tag Tournament was just one of those fighting games that was just loved. It was loved. It was necessary, and it was needed. I don't know if that's enough for you to be like, man, how does, okay, so you really like the game, how does that solidify it as one of the best of all time? Like, look, this is just me, and I'm only pulling from my childhood experience with this game. So part of that has a heavy hand in it, but also it's just, to me, it is just what it is. And although there are numerous titles that were just as grand as Tekken Tag Tournament as far as the fighting games go. For me, that one, it just takes the cake, bro. It just does. Even with Tekken 8 out right now, that's still, to me, one of the best that I've experienced in my lifetime. So, yeah. Tekken Tag Tournament at number 9. Next. Number 8. Oh man, number 8. Number 8, I am giving this to Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Listen. I can't recall, besides Castlevania or Blood Rain, how many decent vampire games existed. This game to me was like a new twist on the whole vampire story. Raziel, Kain, what transpired with him, how he was a general in the Templars or something like that. Kain came in there, rampaged they joint, turned them, made them, along with Raziel, his generals in his empire, growing vampire empire. And then Raziel, just being supposedly one of Kain's subordinates, surpassed him in vampire evolution. This man grew wings, and Kain was like, I ain't having that. He became a hater. He was straight hating. Ripped my man's bones out the wings, and then tossed him in a freaking fiery pit of water. Just that intro scene alone was like, damn, right? On top of how it was narrated, the voice acting, the music was grabbing you too. But the main thing I definitely want to give it like the mega praise for is the voice acting. During that time, PS1, this had to have been, maybe next to Metal Gear Solid, one of the best voice acting we've had in a game, period, for that time, for PS1 time. The experience that game gave me was mind-blowing, bro. For a different take on a vampire story where it's not about Dracula this time, because most of these stories is always revolving around Dracula. This was cool. This was very cool. Like they really don't make them like that no more. Now I know they do have that one vampire game out called Vampire. I don't know anything about it. I guess maybe, I don't know if I would have the desire to like maybe try and play it. I don't know. I mean, I just look at it. It doesn't look like something I want to play. So maybe I could just give myself a refresher and like watch a video on it. But who knows? Maybe that's a banger and I'm sleeping on it. We recently got Redfall, another vampire told different story. It's different, had a different play style. From what I was playing, I thought it was pretty cool. It was pretty decent. But still, it just does not reach that Soul Reaver caliber of storytelling and gameplay. At least not to me. So, yeah. That's number 8. Next. Number 7. It's getting tougher and tougher by the second, I swear. Coming in at number 7. I gave this spot to Final Fantasy VIII. Now, if y'all have heard my top 10 RPGs of all time list, you pretty much already know why I put this game in such high regard. It was my introductory to the Final Fantasy series, as well as my introductory to RPGs / JRPG. What can I say that y'all haven't heard me say already about this game, dude? I mean, what can I say? Like I said, this list it's going by my childhood experiences. It's got a heavy hand on it, bro. Real heavy hand on it. Final Fantasy VIII to me was just mind blowing. It was great. Great adventures, amazing music, dope cast, great story, great love story. It was cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it all the way through, and I may have replayed 8. I don't know how many times. Like I've replayed this game so much. It's not funny, you know. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. We're gonna move on to the next one. So yeah, number 7, Final Fantasy VIII.
Number 6.
Okay, number 6. Damn, man, bro, like this is painful because it's once again. I would love to see y'all attempt this, man. I don't want to hear it. I want to see y'all attempt this list. Number 6, I'm giving this to Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic had to make it to this top 10 some way, shape, or form, and why not in its glory day of the Dreamcast, leaving with Sonic Adventure 2. This was our introduction to Shadow the Hedgehog and the sequel to one of his greatest 3D games to ever exist. Matter of fact, I think it was the first. Well, no. It wasn't the first because the first one was 3D Blast. But to jump it into the next scope, Sonic Adventure was the game. This game really hits right there. It is right there. Like, matter of fact, the emotional attachment that I have to this game. One of my dear old friends, Kevin Yeager, God rest his soul, man's let me have his Dreamcast, because I was explaining to him like I used to have this disc. I used to have this disc that had a demo reel of all the Dreamcast games that were coming out. They show Shenmue and some other things, but the main one I could not stop myself from watching was the Sonic Adventure demo reel. I was in awe. I was like, man, like, and then mind you, this was around. I think this was around the era of the GameCube, PS2, Xbox 360. So Dreamcast is long gone. You couldn't even buy Dreamcast no more. So I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, man, I'm so sad that I missed this. And at the time, I also don't think Sonic Adventure DX was out yet. I don't think, not at the time, or else I would have got it then. But no, he used to come visit me a lot, you know, because he was my boy. That was my homie, and he saw me watching this thing and he was like, dude, you never played Sonic Adventure? I was like, nah, like I would love to. And he was like, dude, I have a Dreamcast. Do you want it? I have a Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I was like, the hell yeah. So man's gave me his Dreamcast along with the copies of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Loved Sonic Adventure 1. It was everything and beyond what I thought it was going to be. But then I popped in that Sonic Adventure 2. Like, I was blown away, man. Blown away. Enjoyed that game from beginning to end. And once again, just like the last game, I played and played and played and played and played Sonic Adventure 2 over and over and over again. It was just that good to me. It was that enjoyable to me. It hits here, man. it hits right there. So that's why it had to be on this top 10 list. So yeah, Sonic Adventure 2, bro. Next.
Number 5.
Coming in number 5. Look, y'all should have known that in some way, shape, or form, I was gonna be putting this up. You knew. If you know me, you knew. I was gonna be putting this in the air at one point in time on this top 10. But I think y'all's real question is, which one? What is it? I'm giving number 5 to Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal, Gen 2. As y'all all know, and as I've stressed over time, Gen 2 is my favorite generation out of all the generations of Pokemon. I got a deep love for it. Like I don't know. Like I don't know why it's as deep as it is for me as opposed to when I first got the yellow version. But I don't know, maybe it has something to do with what transpired into me getting it. So here's a little backstory. Back in the days, I had a stepbrother, and at the time, I already had my own Game Boy, and I was playing Pokemon Yellow still. I was still playing Pokemon Yellow. And while playing Pokemon Yellow, Gold and Silver came out. Now, on the weekends, I used to go with my stepbrother's aunt. She used to have us for the weekend, and we would go to church and all this stuff and just spend time with her. Honestly, I think it was mainly for her to spend time with her actual nephew and not me, really. But that's besides the point. But yeah, we go and, you know, we bring our consoles and other little gaming devices just to, you know, entertain ourselves while we're at her house, because, you know, she ain't had none of that stuff. So, you know, one day we're driving to the mall, and I brought my Game Boy with me. I'm playing Pokemon Yellow. Now, for those that has played Pokemon, y'all know that it's a one-player game. It's a one save. It's you know what I'm saying, it's an RPG. So when you're doing stuff, you got to keep track of all the stuff. And if you let anyone else play it and then they accidentally save and you don't know what the heck or where the heck you left off, or they accidentally release a Pokemon or something like just imagine how upset you'll be, because I would have been upset. It wasn't that I didn't want him to play it, I just didn't want him to mess up my file. It wasn't me being mean or anything like that. I would have wanted him to play, but there was no way for me to like let him have his own file. If there was, I would have let him play, but I didn't, because I was afraid that I would lose all this progress I made on this game. So his aunt saw that. We went to the mall, because we always went to the mall to, like, you know, get some food or whatever, and just walk around and stuff like that. We went to the mall that day, and not only did she buy him his own Game Boy, she bought him Pokemon Gold. New game, brand new game. We in the car. I'm trying to see it because it's a new game, right? Like, I'm not trying to take it from him. I'm just looking. She up there, leave him alone. You play yours. I'm like, why are you bugging? You just bought this man the new game of the series. I'm just looking. I'm not taking. I'm not touching. I'm just looking. I can't look. So later that moment, I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. All right, fine. You want to be like that? Fine. I'm like, you tripping for nothing. I'm not even trying to take it from him. You literally bought him the newest of the game, and I want to see it. I'm just looking. You ain't had to attack me like that, right? So right there, boom, I told myself, you know what? Don't worry about it. Christmas time, when my grandmother was still alive, God bless her soul, I would go to Savannah and be with them and be with my grandparents and just be at peace, have the time of my life. I'm around people that love me. I told grandma, hey grandma, I want to get this new game for Christmas. So that was when I got Pokemon Silver. Man, I loved the hell out of that game, man. Like there was no stopping me. I was on cloud 80. Saw Lugia pop on my screen. I was like, yo, who's this? This is fire. I'm already like thinking in my mind, like, dang, like this version is better than gold. Like, I got a flying turkey on your screen. I got this cool. I know the whole O slander has to stop. I'm sorry, but still though, I enjoyed that game. And then when I came home, I had the cable link. I was like, yo, man, let's battle. Let's do this now. Let's trade. Like it turned into a whole fun experience. So I guess with that, I guess that's why that means so much to me. And that's why it made it to this list. So, yeah. Pokemon Gold and Silver. Number 5. Next.
Number 4.
Okay. Now y'all know. If I had to find a way to throw Sonic on this top 10, I had to find a way to throw Mario on this top 10. Now, which one? Lake Show, I'm sorry, but you already know what it is. Shout out to Lake Show. Coming in at number 4 is Super Mario Sunshine. That's my favorite 3D Mario of all time, bro. Like, I freaking love that game. That dude, out of all of the 3D Marios, that one takes the cake for me. Even over Odyssey. Yeah, I said it. Over Odyssey. It's the best. It's the best. Hands down. And I think the reason why I am so strong on this is also because Sunshine was my reason for wanting a GameCube. Imagine that. For the first time ever, it was a Mario game that made me want to get the console. Unlike the N64. Crazy, right? But yeah, nah. All my old heads, all my late 80s, early 2000 babies out there. Y'all remember the Toonami days, right? Cartoon Network, right. Remember when Toonami used to rate games? There was a time where Toonami rated Super Mario Sunshine. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, man, this game look kind of cool. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I watched them review a bunch of games, right? And Super Mario Sunshine was the only game, unless y'all can correct me and find some receipts and prove me wrong. But as far as I'm concerned, for what I remember, Super Mario Sunshine was the only game Toonami gave a 10 out of 10. Like, no, this game is not missing. It's a hit. It's a banger. It's a win-win, home run. If you not playing this, you're missing out. I was like, bet. Say less. I'm going to get a GameCube tomorrow. I want this game. And I had fun with the game. I had a lot of fun. I love the flood mechanic. A lot of people have hated flood. I don't know why. It was a cool little mechanic. I like flood. I liked chasing freaking Bowser Jr. as Paint Mario, Anti Mario, whatever he was called. I like chasing him around. Just all around, the cell shading of the game and the visuals was very pretty, very beautiful. Music was cool. Like everything about it was just a W. Straight W. Challenging. I like it. Why you gonna complain about a challenge? I thought that's what the gaming was all about. Have fun and challenge yourself. This game is near and dear to my soul. And with that, Mario's on the list. And he's on the list with Sunshine. Get your shine on. Like this. Yeah. I don't feel bad about where I placed it. And I don't feel bad about it being on the list. It's one of the best. And I stand by that. So yeah. Super Mario Sunshine. Next.
Number 3.
Alright, coming in at number 3. Y'all, after seeing most of my top 10s, y'all should understand why this is even here. I already went deep into this. Y'all already know the backstory. Is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Like I said, brief story. I remember when I saw the trailer for it, and unlike Super Mario 64, it was that game that made me want an N64. Period. That was it. I played that game. That game, bro. It's another one of those, bro. It hits right here. Now, granted, my introduction to the series was Link to the Past on Super Nintendo, but This game right here, Ocarina of Time, was what glued me in. It locked me in. I was there. I was like, all right, this is officially me, Zelda fan, forever. It can't miss. Can't. This game is what set everything for the time to come. You know, it's the reason why we got everything that came after. It's the reason why we got Majora's Mask. It's the reason why we got Windwaker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. It's the reason. It's the reason why we have all those beautiful titles. So love me or hate me, you can't blame me for this one, bro. You cannot. You can't. Seriously. So, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
Number 2.
Oh man, okay. Number 2. Best video game of all time. This one's a twist right here. This is a twist. And I highly doubt anyone would expect this, but let me just go ahead and say it. I'm giving number 2 to Star Wars The Old Republic. Yeah, a PC game, an MMO. Believe that. Yeah, man. Star Wars The Old Republic was the one MMO that I got into out of the many that I've tried that actually kept me hooked to it. Like I've trust me, I've been through so many, played them, deleted them, but every time the Old Republic stayed. It stayed, and I continued playing it, going through the story and everything. It's still taking me forever to go through that story, but I still have fun as my made-up Star Wars character, Nathos Daniel, going through the galaxies, you know, rising Sith Lord, turning gray Jedi. I mean, you know, it is whatever you can make it, you know. But out of all of the Star Wars games, besides The Force Unleashed, this game is amazing, dude. It is amazing. Like, by far one of the best lip-synced voice acting, best ongoing. Like, I thought they was done adding stuff to it, but I recently got on and I was like, oh snap, what is this expansion? Like, they're still adding to this game, to my surprise. Like, they're celebrating the Mandalorian stuff, the Ahsoka stuff. I'm like, yo, this is okay. We still Star Wars in it. All right, the Force. We still holding the Force in our hands. This is one of the best MMOs out there to exist, in my personal opinion. Maybe it has a lot to do with me being a heavy Star Wars fan. Who knows? But to me, even with titles like DC Universe Online, which is still fun, Elder Scrolls Online, which is still fun, Final Fantasy 14, which is freaking amazing. Even with those, the Old Republic still, it just hits different. It just hits different than those. I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain to y'all why that is for me. It's just me. It's a fire game, and if you haven't experienced it, I would say, hey, try it out. You got many different classes to choose from. You could be a Sith, you could be a Jedi, you could be a stormtrooper, you can be a scavenger, you could be, you know, you could be on your Han Solo, or you could be a bounty hunter, or you could be you know, it's just you got options. Even from the races you can pick. You could be a Twi'lek, you can be one of the I forgot what the Sith race is called, but you could be one of them. You could be a what do they call it? You could be a Chiz. I think it's called a Chiz, the blue people with the red eyes. You could be whatever you want to be in this game, bro. That's how deep it is. You got options. But you know, you would expect that in an MMO. You know what I mean? So, but nah, man. Like this, it's just one of those games, man. It's one of those games that it's there. It's important to me, bro. I love the Old Republic. It's just one of those games that I can't live without. I cannot do it. So yeah, that's number 2. Alright, so before we get into this number 1, here are all of the honorable mentions I could possibly think of that means so much to me. Alright, let's run through those. Alright, we went through all those, and now we're here at number 1. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, no one, unless you were unless you was one of those that was in a situation where you was, you know, trying to like learn differently and really expand your mind, I would be shocked if anybody knows about this. And if you do know about this, then hey, you was really trying to elevate your thought process as a person. But this game is not your ordinary game. As a matter of fact, it's not even popular amongst the masses. And the reason being is because at least from my point of view, even though to me it is a fun game to play, it's also a game that is really teaching you a perspective on how to think differently as far as life and financials. The number 1 best video game of all time I'm giving this spot to Cashflow. Cashflow is a board game made and created by famous author slash money mogul Robert Kiyosaki. He is the author of this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. My father gave me this Audible, and I listened to it, and quite an interesting story about this guy. He just basically went into the story about his life and how he lived on Hawaii, and the idea of Rich Dad Poor Dad. The poor dad in this story was his actual biological father, who had a decent job as a teacher, and his rich dad was his friend's father, who ran multiple businesses in Hawaii, had employees, and was well established as far as financials went. And throughout the whole story, he's teaching Robert and his friend how to not work for money, but have money work for you. Concept I've never heard of. Like most of us never heard of. Most of us here, you finish school, you go out there, you get a job, and there it is. You get a job, you pay bills, and do it all over again. One particular segment in this book that was like what the hell was I doing at the age of 9, bruh? What the hell was I doing? Well, I'll tell you what I was doing. We was doing this. But no, here we are. We have these 9-year-old boys, right? Rich Dad had them working at one of his supermarkets for free. At first he was paying them, then something transpired where it was a lesson that needed to be learned. And after that, he was like, okay, you're going to go back to... Rich Dad was like, you're going to go back to work and I'm going to pay you nothing. And I'm like, wait, what, huh? So while they was working for free, they started noticing things. Because at first, when they was getting paid, whatever little they got paid, they would spend that on the comic books that was at the store. Well, now that they wasn't getting paid, they started noticing things. They noticed the store clerk that was their like manager or whatever was taking... from what I understand, she was taking off the covers of the comic books and putting the rest of the books in a box. And I didn't quite understand that part. I think what was happening was there were new prints of the comic books, and she was saving. I really don't understand why she was saving it, but I think she was saving the actual covers for the I guess the newer printed pages of these comics or something like that, so they can... I didn't get that part. But the old ones, she was saying that she throws them away. And Robert and his buddy were like, well, can we have them? And she was like, well, I would give them to you, but she was like, well, I give it to you, but you have to wait for the guy that picks them up. I let some I forgot, some dude comes and picks them up. So the boys waited for the guy to come get the comic books, and that's when they asked, like, hey, can we have these comic books? And he was like, well, yeah, you can have them, but you can't resell them. And I was like, okay, cool. They go back to their home base. I think I can't remember if it was Robert's house or was it his friend's house. They went back to base. They took the books and they started their very own comic book library. They would charge the kids around their block, 10 cents, 20 cents to come in the garage, read as many comic books as they want, and they go home. They hired it's so funny. They hired Buddy's sister to take the payment, and they paid her whatever. She didn't mind. She was like, okay, this is kind of cool. These 9-year-old boys had a business going. They was literally making money work. They was making money at 9. They started a comic book library. Now, all good things come to an end. Unfortunately, the comic book library thing idea didn't last long because one of the kids broke out into a fight, and you know they had to shut it down. But they made that possible at the age of 9. Are you freaking kidding me? Fast forward to Robert's adulthood. He wanted to find a way to teach financial literacy the way Rich Dad taught him in a fun way. And he came up with the game Cashflow. Cashflow kinda resembles like a Monopoly style, but it requires more thinking. You know what I'm saying? It requires you to like really be smart with money. And you could use those same thoughts in real life. So fast forward to later, I'm telling my pops, hey, I heard the book was dope. Like, I'm explaining to him how I was like, what would intrigue me about the book. And then I was like, man, I really want to play Cashflow. I want to play Cashflow. This man later, I didn't even know this thing existed, but this man found the e-game, Cashflow. He found it, where we could play it on the computer. And we played that game for hours, bro. For hours. It was a cool game, man. And for those that, you know, lack financial literacy, it definitely teaches you. And, you know, you'll go out in the world and, you know, kind of like little Robert, start to notice some things that you could perhaps take advantage of. And perhaps use for yourself in a potential financial gain. So it's so cool, man. So cool and so meaningful. But yeah, I bet y'all wasn't expecting that. That's a crazy one. That's a real crazy one. But going off of the story I just told y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all can understand. Like, okay, all right, fair. We never heard of it. We didn't even know what the hell you talking about, or is the game existed. But we get it. That's cool. You might even want to check it out yourself. I don't know, but yeah. So there it is, y'all. Top 10 video games of all time. I'd love to see y'all try this. Please try this. Just try it. I want to see y'all's list. I want to see if y'all can do it. Cause this was hard, dude. This was not easy at all, bro. It was so tough. And the honorable mentions should have showed y'all how tough this was. Cause it's too much out there. It's way too much. So in creating this list, I just dove deep with it. You know, I in order to produce this list, I made it very, very personal for me. And I think for you to attempt the same, that's what you're gonna have to do if you want to make this list yourself. So yeah, that's the end of it. Let me know what y'all thought about my list. Comments down below. And yeah, that's it, man. Once again, shout out to Jay, man. I appreciate you giving me this crazy, painful idea to do this top 10. Y'all know how I end it. We out this piece. Salute, deuces, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.
We are.